Previously on the Youth Devotion series.
And today's topic, as we had mentioned in the last one, was navigating challenges in relationships. If the only time you are meeting the person you're dating is behind closed doors and there's nobody else, for me, that is a red flag. In the eventuality that you break up, terms and conditions apply. Because if you are friends with somebody, like if you are friends with the boyfriend, it becomes complicated. Your loyalties as a friend may be tested when people break up. Good day, once again. My name is Mutegi, and today's episode is about, do you need to walk with an older couple when you're dating? And I mentioned about mentorship. When it comes to looking through this topic, it intrigued me. I was very interested in, do you need to talk to other people about relationships, about how to go about dating? And for me, it is a double-edged sword. It is 50-50. It's two-way traffic, different ways of looking at it. So it depends on the two of you. But if there's one thing I have learned about life, is that you are not meant to walk alone. And sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel on certain issues. Like you, and I'm not saying this in a rude way, you're not the first person to date. And you're not going to be the last. There are people who have dated before and has either worked out or not. So by the time you are dating, you are not doing this, you're not walking this journey, just the two of you in a vacuum. Other people are there. You're going to work, you're going to school, you're having weddings to attend, you are part of the bridal party. If you're a gent or the lady, you are going for baby showers for the men, for the boys, for the men. I don't know whether you go for baby showers or you go for goat eating or you go for road trips. Basically, you are not dating in a vacuum. You're not just being put on even the reality shows that we watch, there are other people around. It's not just the two of you and then the camera is right in your face. So for me, you will need to ask, you will need to observe, you will need to understand that, by the way, dating is a whole different ballgame and it's not just about you. And if you just want it to be about yourself, stay single. If you realize that, by the way, this person, okay, yes, I like them, I want to have them in my company, but I prefer being by myself all the time. Those are things you realize, even as you date. So, do you need an older couple? It depends with the stage of your relationship. When you're starting off, most of the times it's just the two of us. You just want to be the two of you, like you are checking up how comes they have not SMS'd, they have not called, you want to use a meme, you come across a meme and you're like, I want to send this. There's the late night texts or the calls, you hang up, no, you hang up fast, and all those things. I don't know what else you do in your current generation. Each generation is different. So you are having this relationship developing, and you could be seated and wondering, okay, it's at the early stage, so let me see how it goes. It's hapo katikati, sijui katikati inakuaje, but you're like, you have gotten to know each other a little bit longer than 3 months, 6 months. Each relationship is different. There are those who are like, by the way, I think this is the guy. I think this is who you dame. I think this could be the mother of my children. So depending on which phase or which stage of your relationship you find yourself in, for me, it is being curious to find out, okay, so how do things go around? Like, by the time I'm experiencing things, is it that I'm the only person having this experience? Now, it is important for you to pace yourselves. Pace yourselves means And this may be about being intimate. It might be about what investments you come across. Pacing yourself means, okay, my heart rate is increasing faster because this person is in my life. I can't stop thinking about them. I think this is the person who, all the fairy tales and everything, fairy godmother, according to the movies you watch, this is who the Lord has sent my way. So your vision, the way you interact with other people changes because of the phase you are in. The excitement of, I am in a relationship. By the way, he has introduced me as his girlfriend. She has introduced me as her boyfriend. Because still, another thing is you have to realize in the current season that we are in, are you in a relationship or in a situationship? Or are you in Nairobi, as we say? It's complicated, isn't it? So by the time you are listening to other people who have been in a relationship, you're not swallowing everything they're telling you. You're like listening, observing, because even as social media is showing us, you can be smiling to the nines in front of the camera, but whatever is happening behind the scenes is a totally and very sad state. So, do you need to walk the journey of dating with an older couple? Just like mentorship for career, you look around and see who would you like to have a conversation with. And you can do this as a lady by yourself, as a gent by yourself, or together as a couple. So it's not even about primary. And one of the other things that in my profession, counseling profession, I have come across is let premarital counseling not just be at the beginning, like when you have fully decided that you're getting married. Go to attend workshops within the church fraternity. Be curious to find out, like, by the way, where are people meeting and where are they having conversations? Go to those seminars, go to those workshops, log in. Nowadays, you can even do it online. And then you find out what are other people talking about. And by the way, if it was to happen to me, what would I do? Walking the journey with an older couple helps you not reinvent the wheel. It tells you that, by the way, depending again on the stage of your relationship, if you're looking into marriage, what are the do's and don'ts? What can you do without? What is a must? Like, what would you pay high top money for, and other things can be spared or not even that, or you can even improvise or do without. It is about your blood group. It is about, there's an important thing when it comes to blood groups. If you're hoping to get children, you get to understand that, by the way, you could be trying, there can be a family history of, and I'm not speaking into your life, I'm just saying there could be a family history of miscarriage, which can be passed down. So by the time you're looking at what you were taught in biology, hopefully haukukula school fees ya biology class, but there's something about the rhesus factor. Find out about that. It's just your normal tests. I'm not saying that you need to do this so that they are deal breakers. I'm saying it's just, if you are going to be serious about it, by the time you have somebody talking to you, you realize, by the way, there are some things we haven't talked about, like how to deal with in-laws. When you are dating, you could be, as a lady or a gent, be invited to a baby shower of one of your boyfriends or girlfriends, siblings, aunties, uncles. They are social functions. It could be a loss. So there's a funeral. Would you like to come with me? There's a wedding. Would you like to be my plus one? So you are gradually being introduced to their family. Not everybody will like you. You will not like everybody. But you like this person. So by the time you're having this walk with the older couple, they're letting you know that, by the way, this is how you tippy-toe around certain issues, or where you face them off. Like there's some things that are, non-negotiables. Like, if you see this, it's a red flag. If you don't do this, all that. So by the time you're having the walk, even within the Christian faith, we say we are the body of Christ. You're not supposed to do this by yourself. So is there someone within the church fraternity that you can whisper to, or they can talk to, you can talk to? If you are shy and you don't want to have a one-on-one, write it down and say, but they just give me some few hints, and then you look at it and you see where it applies. Now, why you may need to be mentored when it comes to relationships is so that you know how to give and also take tender and tough loving care. Usually we say TLC, tender loving care, like, oh yes, the lovey-dovey and everything of the sort, like open the door, pull out the chair, pay for the dinner and the rest. But ladies and gentlemen, not everything about the person you like, you will not like everything about the person you like. Let me put it that way. So how do you still love the person? How do you still respect the person in front of you when you are not feeling the lovey-dovey and you're like, So for me, having a mentor, great. But the other thing, even as I conclude, so that now our next episode is about when do you know the relationship needs to come to an end? I always say, the phrase goes, too many cooks spoil the broth. So I'm not telling you that you have to read every relationship advice book that you find in the bookshop or you come across. I'm not saying that you interrogate every single couple and tell them, okay. Because everyone is different. And even though you're in a position where you go to a seminar and people are talking, you are being mentored, there's an elderly, it could be elderly, middle-aged, whatever stage of relationship, maybe they are married and they have children. The people who are mentoring you, don't spread yourself too thin to the point where you're wondering, okay, so who should I listen to? Should I have 3 children or should I have 2? Should I respect should I be sending money to my mother-in-law, or should my husband be the one sending my money to the... There are so many ways. It's just the same way right now. If you are to prepare a meal that you have onions, tomatoes, and there's oil, and kama ni nyama, it's meat. There are some of us who put the oil first, then the onions, and then the meat, and then the tomatoes. Others who put the meat first, and then everybody knows how to cook their special dish in. And there are those who are just, is it tukania? The mchanganyiko maalum, you mix everything together. So the thing about it is, don't ask too many things to too many people to the point you get confused. Establish 1, 2, or 3 in different seasons of their life. Walk that journey with them as a person or as a couple, and then see, okay, by the way, this is interesting, or I had never thought about this, and you become a better person and your relationship thrives, okay? So in our next episode is, what are the signs and symptoms of knowing when you need to walk away? Like, what are the red flags? Ili nakwambia, by the way, it's time for you to end this relationship. So I'm hoping you log in, you will sign in, and I'll see you in the next episode as we learn more about this dating process. Okay? Thank you, and see you soon.